What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Wow. When imprinting goes wrong, a lot of times we don't talk. We talk about the imprint. The imprint, quote unquote, sexual imprint. When a guy basically puts his stamp on a woman and she wants that guy or that type of guy for the rest of her days, or until somebody could do that better. And then she might want that another type of guy then. And that could work, the same way when you see women talking about colorism or people being color struck. Nobody ever thinks that maybe it's an imprint. Maybe this guy met a girl like this or that, and she was his imprint. Like that now that's his preference because that was the one that did it for him. You get what I mean? That might have been his first experience or his best experience starting out or whatever. But the other thing we don't talk about is how imprinting can go wrong. You know, and part of the issue is, not being disciplined sexually. Like, guys, you get to that point where you want to put notches on your belt. And there's some women you probably shouldn't be sleeping with. You probably shouldn't sleep with one time. And you be like, man, I just, what I'm saying, I gotta, I gotta give her that thing, what I'm saying, I gotta give her put that thing in her life. And all of a sudden, her mind just starts spinning around like the Tasmanian devil, and you don't know what happened to it. And her mind's in the blender because you imprinted her. And now she don't know how to get out of that. So true story. Few months back, I did a story about the police coming to my house because of somebody that I dealt with in the past. I mean, years ago, and it wasn't really even dealt with. They wanted to try it out, and I tried to push them off, but then said, "Okay, forget it." And then that was a bad idea. And years later, they called the police to my house because I ghosted them. It's like, oh, here we go. And the police was like, she told me this story where you did this wild, freaky thing, and she said you took it, but then she said you did it and she enjoyed it, but then since you're not talking to it, she said you took it. So they knew like it was crazy. But then and I've been getting phone calls and messages back to back for months. And the police are like, look, man, the girl's a little off her meds. And I told that particular cop, when I say him, that, I think, she's probably off her meds now because something happened in life and I don't know what, she just started having a mental breakdown or whatever. But it had nothing to do with me. But at the same time, got a message talking about, you last slept with me in 2017, and because of that, I'm not sleeping with anybody else, and you gonna give me some of that, and so you got to call me back. Now, this is the same person that called the police on me about, having sex with me and me ghosting her and then saying I took it, is calling me, leaving me these type of messages. I'm like, and people don't think about when imprint goes wrong. I used to talk about how guys could how can I say this? How you keep going from one chick, like the pump and dump thing. If you're really doing it right, you don't really have to dump them because they'll keep you in their Rolodex, in a sense. They'll keep you in their phone, like, you know what? That you might get a big head if just if you go through a drought, because she might not be able to find nothing better. And so she might call back and call back and call back from time to time. And if you don't have that, you're not doing it right. But the other thing is a downside to that. Like, if she never finds anybody up to snuff or up to par, she might get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I've had, I've had some experiences where ladies have done some things that you go, what? I remember breaking up with a lady a few years ago, and she got mad, and then she wound up going to the hospital in the psych ward or whatever because she lost it, and she basically was walking through a drive-through McDonald's at 12, like at midnight, causing a commotion, and it was a whole mess, right? And I had to wind up calling her mother about it because I found out about it later. But when people say, "Hey, man, if they don't get it, they go crazy," that happens, man. And sometimes, and some guys y'all don't think about. Some guys look at it like the imprint thing is dope because some guys match the image of the type of guy that imprinted the girl. So sometimes when guys don't need game, you remind her of the guy that imprinted her. So it's easier for you to talk to her than another guy, and so, but it's also easier for her to drop you or get rid of you because you're not that guy. You didn't do her like that guy did her. She gave you all the she gave you all the signs and all the leeway in the world to get it done, but you couldn't get it done like he got it done. So let's move on to the next. But if you do it like that, then that imprint swings onto you. And now if you want to get rid of her, it's going to be a problem. Thus, you see girls tripping, especially the younger women, keying cars and this, that, and the third. But this happens with women in their 30s and 40s too. Like it really does. And these women are trying to figure out, I don't know why I'm acting like this. And some of y'all, you're going to get old enough and come to find out that you're going to meet older women who are going to say they don't know why they're acting like this and acting like that. It's because imprints could go wrong, man. If you ever seen a person when their eyes do that change, and that you don't want to do that with everybody. Like, you don't want to do that with everybody because you might have imprinted the wrong person, and not to mention imprints can go wrong when women are out here cheating. People out here dating and creeping, and you're single but they're not, but they present themselves to be single because they're bored in a relationship, or the sex is not what it used to be, and then you wind up imprinting her while she's actually in a relationship, and things go it could go bad. It could go horribly wrong. It could go horribly wrong, and you don't know what's going on, and then you find out because there might be a conflict, or you do know what's going on, and then that makes you just an accomplice to the situation, and it makes it a conflict. It's bad. So don't think just imprinting people is all a fun experience, because sometimes it could go completely left. But that's my thoughts, man. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace.